All right, so here's the Ballot Builder login screen. Let's go ahead and jump right on in and log in. And this is just a filler page. Let's go jump to the actual Ballot Builder. Here's a couple of sample ballots. Here's one. All right, so we have a basic kind of editor here. We can edit the title or the ballot title right here. We got whatever we want. Save, bam, done. We can add a page title. It's kind of playing around with that. That may be the subtitle below the ballots, I think. So maybe ballot subtitle we'll change it to. Food for thought. Here we have the actual question editor. We can click and drag, which will reorder the questions. We can. What just happened? Oh, there we go. Boop. All right. Things just warming up. Okay. We can click and drag reorder the questions. We can click to edit. That opens up the full editor. And again, we just we can type things in. We can add questions. They auto insert themselves, so you can tab through or shift tab to go back. You can also add over here plus and minus. We have a bulk copy and paste tool, kind of like if you want to quickly edit the answers, which again here we can just type in some answers, or say we want to change something. Boom, boom. This is good for copy and pasting. Boom, done. Save. All right, there we go. Changes added. We also have support for the vote for blank, which goes all the way to the back end supporting this. We can say, for example, if we want them to vote between 0 to 2 people, or I'm sorry, 1 to 2 people. Very specifically, vote for 1 to 2 people. We can do that. We can also do voting for, exactly one person, voting for up to 2 people, so 0 to 2, or vote for at least, whatever number. That'll update, that'll show everywhere. We can move things, we can copy them, we can delete them, we can move to other ballots, for example, or we can copy to other ballots. We can do that here, and we can select the question we want to insert at. Ooh, that's going to be expanded. All right. So, for example, if we wanted to take this question and copy it over to another ballot after question number 2 or 3, we could do that like this. Boom, done. Copied over. We can clone ballots and link the questions, which in this case we have 2 different types of copying. You can copy a question, which will literally just copy and paste the text to another ballot. Or you can link the question, in which case editing a link question will reflect the changes on all the ballots you've linked the questions to. So in this case, commonly we have a president, vice president, secretary, those, a couple of top positions which are on everybody's ballot. We would link those to the top. For example, let me show you real quick. Here's an example ballot, 2 questions. Let's go, we'll create a ballot from existing. That's ballot 1, EB1. We're going to link the questions. We'll call it a clone, election 1, create the ballot. And boom, we can see here our questions have been linked. So for example, if I want to edit the question number 2, see changes. We're going to get a little warning like, do you want to edit this question, in which case you can unlink it, or do you want to edit all the links? We want to edit all the links in this case. We'll click OK. Boom. So this is our clone. We can see our change here. Let's go back and double check. Yep. Ballot 1, E1, B1 also changed. Very simple editor. Another big thing we have is the mass bulk copy and paste. In case you have a giant chunk of text you want to paste in, like say for example you're coming from Word, very simple. Your first line is the question. Then you have all the answers. Whoops. And then you add a blank line in to start a new question. And we can see we're creating our questions here on the right. It doesn't matter if they accidentally put in two spaces. Boom, there's all our new questions. Okay, and again, we can delete stuff. Very simple. Okay, that's the basic parts of the ballot builder. There's a simple manage your ballots page. Not a whole lot to this. Probably needs a lot of TLC. More importantly are the backend admin tools. So I have something here called organizations, which equates to your clients. And you know how you have contacts for your clients. Those are just called contacts in here, and they get imported from your clients table. The important point being that you need an invite to use Ballot Builder, and my intention is that we have normal users where they have a username/email and a password. They create the password, so we don't screw with any more creating unique passwords for anybody. We invite them to use the app. They get an email. They click the link that says, hey, or they get an email that says, hey, you've been invited to use our tool. Register here and enter a password, and it creates their user account and adds them to the organization, which gives them permission to edit all the elections and ballots for that organization. It also lets them invite other users to specifically that organization if they want to. And we can, again, for example, all these admin pages, you can edit the elections, ballots, users, contacts, and organizations. Again, a user is somebody who's accepted and registered. So here we have all the organizations. You've got pages for this. You can double click to edit a cell, or you can hit the edit button, in this case. Okay, so I don't know, this is just some person. We can hit save, and that was City of Oklahoma Park, which has now been resorted. She's in here. I may have too many users in here to make this useful. But anyways, you can also search, and the fields you can search by, you can always see by hovering over here. I've added lots of fields to be searched. For example, if we just want to look for local, boom, here's everything with local in the name. And again, it might also be somebody's email. If we want to search for, say, let's see, who was that, Jenny? Again, this is contacts, not organizations. Easy searching here. If we wanted to invite one of these contacts to use our app, we simply click the invite button, and bam, we're taken to the invite page here. And we had to type in an email address, whatever their email address is. We type that in, and we hit invite, and boom, their invite is sent. And they get a nice little formatted email that says, hey, come and register with us. We can see all the invites here. If we wanted to create or delete an invite directly, we can manage that here. We can manage all the elections and ballots. And big thing here is to prevent this from getting all clogged up. When we're done with an election, we just simply hit archive. It doesn't delete the election, it just stops showing it in the top list of results. So, it just archives it. And again, we can come in here and we can edit any of these. We can select the ballots that are inside of each election. We can select an organization that ties to it. So in this case, here's everything with local in the name. Very simple to come in here and change stuff. Employees doesn't actually get used, but this is just the basic election ID and title. We can edit any of the ballots. Same way. I've added it so that we don't quite have the same amount of formatting as you do in your current ballot builder. We have we have some, but rather than confusing the user with it, I figured Sean would want to be the one that fiddles with it. So again, it's only available on the back end to not confuse the users. We can talk about this later. Here's all the formatting. If you did want to add something, currently we have top to bottom, which is just basic rows, very simple rows. And then we have columns, which is column laid out. We can set the number of columns, and if questions run between columns, do we have a weighted ballot for logic? And again, we can come in and this is where we would set ballot type in here. And a nickname is just something that if a user wants to name, it's a nickname for a ballot. It doesn't actually show up on anything in the final printed version. It's just a nickname. If the user wants to give something they can remember rather than, ABS, local 15 for, Seattle or something. So, something easy to remember. Again, we can set formatting in here. You don't even have to screw with that if you don't want to. Very quick and easy. And that's the basic gist of what we have right now. And it's a really solid starter. You know, we've got lots of the fresh Espana stuff we were talking about. There's a whole lot of support in here for things that have been added yet, like we've got the notifications, we've got alerts, we've got the sidebar in here, which will display all relevant information, and we've got room for, you know, switches and all this fancy stuff. Excuse me, that just needs to get connected. So yeah, this is a good starting point for discussion, I think. Oh, big thing, exporting elections. You can currently, to export an election to IE MDB or the SQL database, you would just come in and pick election and click export. And currently I have it so it would do an MDB, and all you have to do is you click and drag onto this field to upload the MDB, or you can actually browse to it. Very simple stuff.